Introducing
Charlotte,
Jenny,
and all that jazz.
Hello and welcome to episode 8 of And All That Jazz. Now, those eagle-eared amongst you will notice that I'm on my own today. Charlotte is busy working on Sherlock, the 12 Days of Christmas. That's ramping up now and they open soon, so she's busy with that. And so today's episode is taking a bit of a different shape, and I'll be doing some fun facts and theatre and television tidbits and quiz questions. So make yourself a coffee and let's go. So first up, rumours are flying around who will be in the jungle for this season of I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here. It's the 25th season, and we're going to cast our minds back though to the first year that it was on. Who was there? Uri Geller, the paranormalist. Nigel Benn, boxer. Darren Day was there. He's an actor, singer and presenter, for those of you that haven't had the pleasure of Darren Day. Rona Cameron, the comedian. Glamour model Nell McAndrew. Christine Hamilton, she's down as a television personality and author. And Tara Palmer Tompkinson, R.I.P. She was a socialite and television presenter. But who won it? It was Tony Blackburn. Now, that's not our question. That's not our actual quiz question. But that's a little reminder of who was in that first year going into the jungle. They must have been so nervous, not knowing what was going to hit them whatsoever. As of series 24, 280 celebrities have competed. Yeah, and the first series was won, as we said, by Tony Blackburn. Okay, so here's our quiz question then. What year was the first series aired? When was I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here first aired? Which year? Okay, so on to our next little bit now. We lost the beautiful Prunella Scales last week. She passed away, age 93. She had an amazing, long and varied career across television and theatre. Famously married to the actor Timothy West, who sadly passed last year. And their son is actor Samuel West. So obviously ran through the family there. Arguably one of her most famous roles was as Sybil Fawlty in Fawlty Towers, which brings us to our quiz question. Bit of an old hat quiz question, but it's a good one. How many episodes of Fawlty Towers were made? Right, on to our next section now. This one's for all the Doctor Who geeks amongst you. So Disney Plus have announced that they won't be partnering the BBC for the next season of Doctor Who, but don't worry, the BBC have announced that Doctor Who will be back on our screens with a Christmas special entitled The War Between the Land and the Sea. So that's something to look forward to at Christmas. Lindsay Salt, the director of drama at the BBC, says,
we can assure fans the Doctor is not going anywhere, and we will be announcing plans for the next series in due course, which will ensure the TARDIS remains at the heart of the BBC.
I mean, I don't know if that's actually what she sounds like, but just thought I'd give it a guess. And there's also an animation series which is being developed for CBeebies. So that's another one to look out for in the Doctor Who world. So here's our question. The fifth Doctor Who was played by Peter Davison, but what did he wear on his left lapel? Okay, on to our next piece now, which is that Sky and Now Television are to show a new 2-hour musical event called Wicked One Wonderful Night. It's this weekend, the 8th of November, and of course it stars Cynthia Erivo and Ariana Grande. And this is brilliant because this is where musical theatre meets television, and I'm amazed they don't do more of this generally, where they've, produced a theatre show, and why not film it and then screen it? So this TV special will be a celebration of the upcoming cinematic release of Wicked for Good, which is the finale of the franchise. That's out on the 21st of November. And the show will feature reimagined musical arrangements, cast interviews, behind the scenes moments, exclusive surprises, and maybe even a sneak peek at what's to come in the next chapter of Oz. But for our quiz question, we're going to go back to the original Wizard of Oz film. The original film was so full of rumour and legend that apparently, Toto the dog made more than the Munchkins, and the snow in the poppy scene was made of asbestos, and the Cowardly Lion's costume was made of a real lion skin. Is this true? We don't know. But for our question, what colour are Dorothy's slippers in the original book? What colour were Dorothy's slippers in the original book? And now on to our final bit, which is that there's a new series of Star Trek out now on ITV. Star Trek Strange New Worlds. It has been out in the US and on other platforms for a while, but it's now come to ITV. They're all looking much sexier than I remember when I used to watch it as a kid. So, be checking that out. The series follows Captain Christopher Pike and the crew of the USS Enterprise as they carry out their missions throughout the galaxy. And it's the first Star Trek series since Star Trek The Next Generation, which is the one I remember from the 90s, to feature the franchise's opening narration during its main credits. Right, are you ready? Here we go. I can remember this. Space, the final frontier. These are the voyages of the Starship Enterprise, its continuing mission to explore strange new worlds, to seek out new life forms and new civilizations, to boldly go where no one has gone before. I love it. That takes me back. And my little fun fact from my props world is that in the original series of Star Trek, the medical scanner used by Dr. McCoy was actually a salt shaker. So there you go. That's showbiz. Right, so here's our Star Trek quiz question. What size crew did Captain Kirk command aboard the Starship Enterprise? What size crew did he command? Alrighty, that brings us to the end of our little quiz. So let's go through the answers. So to start with, we were talking about I'm a Celebrity. And what year was it first aired? It was 2002. Can you believe it? That's 23 years ago. How old do you feel? Yeah, 2002 it was first aired, and it was of course hosted by Ant and Dec. So on to part 2, Prunella Scales and Fawlty Towers. How many episodes of Fawlty Towers were made? Only 12 episodes, but not consecutively. The first series of 6 were in 1975, and then the second series came along in 1979. Part 3, we were talking about Doctor Who. Peter Davison played the 5th Doctor Who from 1982 to 1984, and he wore a stick of celery on his left lapel. It was, I believe, something to do with he had allergies and it would warn him of a change of gas in the air. But there you go. Yep, a stick of celery. Good for your teeth, apparently. Part 4, we were talking about The Wizard of Oz and the Wicked franchise, which is now taking the world by storm. But in the original book, what colour were Dorothy's slippers? They were silver. Apparently the filmmakers thought that ruby slippers would look better in Technicolor. That's showbiz! And part 5, Star Trek. What size crew did Captain Kirk manage aboard the Starship Enterprise? He had a crew of 430. Imagine the tea bags they must have got through. And that brings us to the end of our quiz. I hope you've enjoyed the change of format today. A change is as good as a rest, as they say. And I hope that I've done okay by myself this week without Charlotte. If you've been affected by any of the issues or poor broadcasting techniques that you've heard today, then please get in touch. We'll be setting up a hotline. Thanks for listening. Join us next time for more on theatre, television and all that jazz.